Nestled along the southern coast of Rhode Island, Westerly is a blend of seaside charm and natural beauty.
Even during the off-season.
Just an hour and a half from Boston, our first stop in town, the Cooked Goose.
We have great tourism in the summer, but then it turns into a neighborhood restaurant for the other 8 months out of the year.
This beloved dining spot has been serving customers for nearly 20 years.
The food is fabulous. It's consistent.
Every week they have good specials.
Owner Jenny Gibson prefers to stay behind the scenes, but her husband, Andrew Nathan, the executive chef, is happy to share what makes this place so special.
Women-owned, woman-run. I am not in charge in any way whatsoever. It is a please and thank you restaurant. We all support each other.
Known for its hearty breakfasts, including cinnamon roll pancakes.
Hello.
Eggs Florentine and truffle eggs.
My wife's favorite, which is Tilden the Whole style egg with fontina cheese and white truffle oil and asparagus.
But it's not just the food that draws folks in.
It's just a warm, inviting place.
Downtown Westerly, you'll find quaint shops and historic architecture. One standout is the Martin House Bookstore.
People are still reading. It's still a good business.
When the previous bookstore in this space closed last year, it left a void in the community. Gretchen Miller stepped in.
A lot of people came in when it was closing in tears, and when we opened, they were very excited to have it back. And I just think it's an important anchor to everything else that we have going on here in Westerly.
Gretchen was raised in Easton, Mass., where her mother owns a bookstore. She continues the legacy with the Martin House. With its cozy cafe and two-story design, it resembles a Brooklyn brownstone.
People come in and they want to know the history and how it looks like this, and I feel bad to tell them that it's all new. You know, the only thing that's original are the floors and then the hotel sign that we have in the back.
Fair to say, she's created a book lover's haven.
Sit down and have a glass of wine and read your book. Who doesn't want to do that?
4 p.m. is check-in time at the Weekapaug Inn, celebrating 125 years in 2024. This luxurious retreat offers stunning views and serene surroundings.
People come here looking for something other than, just staying in their hotel rooms all day. So being here allows them to access the beach, allows them to access the pond, as well as many other trails that we have around here.
27 rooms on site, including the Novelty Fenway Suites. Dining, amenities, and lots of activities, including wine tasting with the Director of Restaurants, John Capiello.
New England grown, New England made. It's a very dry style cider. It's the opposite of what most people are used to.
It's tart. Head out on a motorboat tour led by Inn Naturalist and Activities Director, Nick Donahue.
This is Quanticoatog Pond, or Quanty Pond for short. And so this is actually the saltiest pond that we have here in Rhode Island. And it is the third largest, and it is also the deepest pond that we have in Rhode Island as well, too.
While we glide over the water, our eyes are on the lookout for seals.
I think I saw one over there.
Yep.
Way in the distance.
Definitely. I saw one just a second ago.
As the leaves turn, the air crisps, and the sun sets, Westerly truly captures the spirit of the season.
We try to make contact with the other side.
For those brave enough to endure,
so are there spirits here with us right now?
Seaside Shadows offers ghost tours of Westerly, exploring the town's haunted lore. We're joined by Seaside Guides and owner Courtney McInvale, who's written 5 books on local and Civil War history.
I like to go to historic documents, books, newspapers, and get as many primary source accounts as I can of actual incidents and actual claims of the paranormal, and then corroborate those with modern day stories.
Wilcox Park is where Westerly High School used to sit. It was deserted when the Great Hurricane of 1938 hit.
Westerly was one of the highest casualty counts. So when people were being extracted from the water days and hours following, they used the abandoned high school as the unofficial morgue. Lo and behold, later the library starts having ghostly activity, and they have likened that to the ghosts of the hurricane of 1938.
Inside the Granite Theater, we ghost hunt. It's Granny Mott setting off these devices.
She was well known by the locals as a practicing witch, and she would transform herself into a chicken. And now she haunts Westerly, sometimes as Granny Ma and sometimes in her chicken hen form.
When her name is mentioned,
she likes being spoken about, right, Granny Ma? And she's maybe making the lights flicker.
The lights also just flickered.
We can't control any of this, for the record.
And on that note,
I think that's a wrap in here. And Anthony, I kid you not, every time the name Granny Ma was mentioned, those lights would flicker, the equipment would flicker. I don't know why. It was a little eerie. We were not able to capture that on camera, but it truly did happen.
And you were out.
I was out.
You were out. Get me out of there. By the way, Seaside Shadows was recently named one of the top 10 ghost tours in the entire country by USA Today. So you had one of the top ones.
It was. And then just really quickly, the Weekapaug Inn rates start at $500 this time of year. And Gretchen from the Martin House, her mom's bookstore in Easton is Paperback Junction.
All right, coming up, a taste of the local catch.